Dr. Frederick, I know you have conducted a lot of research on narrowing racial disparities in cancer care. Can you lay out for us, when we're obviously many different kinds of cancer, which ones have the widest racial disparities?
Yeah, prostate cancer is the first one that comes to mind. The American Cancer Society puts out their cancer data every year, and there's a lot to celebrate in terms of improving mortality across the board for so many cancers. However, there's a widening gap, not just a steady gap, but a widening gap in Black men with prostate cancer. And some of that comes from a little bit of confusion. We've had a U.S. Prevention Task Force data on how we should screen, at what age, and what we should do in terms of intervention. And unfortunately, I think to some extent that probably has hurt the outcome for Black men as they continue to die from it. I would say some of the complex GI cancers that I take care of also have a very persistent and very concerning gap. So patients with pancreatic cancer, African Americans are doing worse. I think some of that has to do with some of what was pointed out in terms of being diagnosed later, not being necessarily positioned to get into the right types of clinical trials or have access to certain centers. I trained at MD Anderson Cancer Center, and I worked at the University of Connecticut before coming to Howard, and I was shocked when I came to Howard. Within the first, I would say, 22 months, I saw 21 women with fungating breast masses. I had never seen a fungating breast mass in all of my training, in my fellowship, or working at the University of Connecticut, but right here in the nation's capital, I saw that. And then the last thing I'll say is if you look at life expectancy outcomes, and definitely influenced by cancer, a Black male who lives in Ward 7 and 8 has a 22-year less life expectancy than a white woman in Ward 3. This is a pretty small city of just about 600,000 people, and that disparity right here in the nation's capital is pretty wide.